Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, y'all. Now, now, this is funny. Your boy, Errol the Truth Spence, is going to come back after 3 years. He's going to fight Tszyu, 154 pounds. Now, me as a Errol Spence fan, through the years, right? Errol Spence fan, always really going for Errol Spence, except for the Terrence Crawford situation. All right, and the reason why that was is because Terrence Crawford hadn't got his due, and he was obviously awesome, and Errol Spence was bigger. But other than that, I was going for Errol Spence. I just liked his vibe, except for the Terrence Crawford thing. That was definitely Team Crawford, right? But other than that, you gotta love Errol Spence. A lot of reasons. One of which is, Errol Spence's fighting style. You like his even keelness. He's kind of even keel kind of dude. Uh, and the fact that he went through a lot with the car accidents and always was coming back and fighting hard people. You don't come back from stuff like that and fight Danny Garcia. I like some Danny Garcia. He's not easy to beat. And or Ugas, who's probably a little bit easier, but to come back and do that, you got to give Errol Spence his love, right? Mm. But there was always one thing I always said about Errol Spence as a fan, somebody who kind of pays attention to things, is Errol Spence was always able to fight one style. Now, he was always a big welterweight, and he was able to come forward, show resilience because he's coming forward, he's a little bit bigger, and basically, walking you down and handling his business, high punch out rate, output, stuff like that. Uh, and, not really worried about too much coming back. It ain't like he ain't got no defense. He does, but I was thinking, I hadn't seen wrinkles. I haven't seen all of the things in his game, right? And I'm like, well, he hasn't probably had to use them, right? So I wasn't when it was coming with him and Terrence Crawford. I had seen Terrence Crawford in situations where he was the bigger guy, the same size guy, and definitely the smaller guy. All the things that Terrence Crawford did at welterweight, he was smaller than those guys. Mm-hmm. And I had seen different wrinkles in his game, front foot, back foot, and things like that. And I had said, Errol Spence, I've only seen him front foot. He was the bigger guy in most of his fights. Now, and I was thinking, well, when Errol goes up and he's not able to front foot guys, what is he going to be able to do? Because I hadn't seen it. Not like I've watched him spar and things like that. So it's interesting to me to see what he's going to do, probably at 154 and 160. Especially 160 when you get up there and you ain't gonna be pushing people around. It's gonna be people your size. Let's see what that happens. Now I think he's naturally with these three years, 154. He's gonna still be a kind of a big dude, right? So this is gonna be interesting because he's fighting Tszyu, and he might have to show some other wrinkles. Because Tszyu, we're gonna keep saying he's lost this fight, he's lost that fight. He got caught against Murtazaliev. He got caught. But if you can remember, he kept getting up. He got caught with clean shots. And he kept getting hit with that left hook and stuff. And he kept getting up, wanting to come back. Now, against your boy Fundora, he was just bleeding too much. They should have stopped that. And if they would have stopped it early, he would have, after 4 rounds, he probably would have won that fight. But that was a situation where he's dude losing blood. Probably getting weak. He lost so much blood, it's ridiculous. But, so and I think he's lost another fight. So let's see what his confidence is. But he seems to be a confident guy. This is for him also an opportunity. But let's just focus on Errol Spence. We might be able to see some different wrinkles in his game because of what I've been hearing. I think even Bernie the boxer was saying that Errol Spence got other stuff in his game that you don't see if you're not in his sparring, if you're not in his camps and stuff like that. You don't see. So Errol Spence might have to show these things, and I'm interested to see him because that would interest me. You should have probably showed him against Terry Crawford some other stuff in your game. But even if not, it will be interesting to see him against bigger guys. Because like that was the only thing I was saying about Errol Spence. I haven't seen him in a fight where he's not the bigger guy. I hadn't. That was my issue. Like I can't really say he's gonna beat no damn Terrence Crawford because I haven't seen him in a fight against a bigger guy. Not that Terrence Crawford's a bigger guy. My issue is I haven't seen him do other things except the same fighting style, which was working. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. He didn't never have to fix nothing because it wasn't broke. You see, going up to 154, 160, I don't think 154 he might get away with some stuff. Same thing. But he's getting up there where it's like, okay, I might have to do this. I might have to do some back footing, show my defense, my reflexes and stuff like that, and see get in and get out, whatever it's gonna be, but not just walking people down. So let's see. That's what makes this fight against Tim Tszyu very intriguing to me. I just kind of want to see Errol Spence doing other things, and I'm pretty sure with those 3 years off, total getting some total rest, and I'm pretty sure, like I say, I'm not the lightest candle on the cake. So I'm pretty sure the people that's dealing with him is like, hey, you're gonna have to, show some other stuff. So it's gonna be really exciting for me to watch Errol Spence handle his business in a different kind of way. So I'm really excited about that. So anyway, man, let's just enjoy what Errol Spence going to do against Tim Tszyu. Now, let's not underestimate Tim Tszyu though. All right. And let's not, if Errol Spence goes in here and gets rid of Tim Tszyu or something like that, that's still huge because Tim Tszyu ain't just coming here. That's not his mentality to come here and lay down for nobody. So it should be an interesting thing. And it's typical Errol Spence. Like, I ain't coming back to be, messing with somebody easy. So I'm going straight at Tim Tszyu. So very interesting fight. Very intriguing fight to see what Errol Spence going to do. All right. Doma Sports Talk worldwide. And I'm out of here, y'all.